Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be showcasing the newly buffed Mammoth Avenger in Grand Theft Auto Online. I am quite willing to say that after the buffs the Avenger has received, it is quite possibly the best aircraft to purchase in the game, and just one of the best overall vehicles to own. Now, the Avenger's been in the game for a very long time, since the Doomsday Heist, which is like 5-6 years ago at this point. And the Doomsday Heists were great, but the Avenger never really had a purpose, which is one of the major problems I've had with the Avenger. However, after the latest update, the Avenger has way more than just a purpose to exist. It is an absolutely amazing vehicle to not only use for missions, but to use as a self-defense vehicle. Let's start off with the new upgrades that have been added to the Avenger. So you've got the Operations Terminal. This is so you can start up the new missions. Honestly, not the most exciting thing ever. At first glance, you might suspect that the Mammoth Avenger Thruster upgrade gives you a literal JATO thruster on this vehicle to launch into the air when you start it off. However, that is actually not the case. It is much better. It is referring to the thruster jetpack that you can purchase and store in your facility. Now you can have an additional one stored inside of your Avenger. And what's great about this is, let's say you engage autopilot. Now, if your Avenger is up in the air, on the ground you can go into services, just like calling in a Sparrow for your Kosatka, and call in a thruster for your Avenger. And then you can fly right up to the Avenger and get into it. That is absolutely amazing. The next upgrade slot is also incredibly important and a huge game changer. We have autopilot defenses. You can now use a stealth module or a missile lock-on jammer when engaging autopilots. Now, at first glance, I thought the missile lock-on jammer was better, because I thought whenever you were flying the Avenger in general, you would have a missile lock-on jammer. That is not the case. It's only when engaging autopilot. That is the same for the stealth module. Because of that, I would say the stealth module is better, because don't let the enemy see where you are and they won't know where you are to begin with. If you have a missile lock-on jammer, I can't really see it being all that effective, because you're literally engaged in autopilot. Somebody can just pull out their weapons and just, I don't know, shoot you sitting still. So yeah, I still think that the stealth module is a flat better option, and it's cheaper, so that's what I would suggest to go with. We have primary weapons being a front-mounted turret and a front top and rear turret, which is pretty important. I would suggest to have that. We have machine guns, which you can mount on the side that the pilots can now use, and missile launchers, and this is by far the best upgrade of them all. Missile launchers means that now, as the pilot, you can finally use weapons on the Avenger. That is insane. Nothing else I cared about until I read that one the most. Because now, if we exit the hangar, we can actually, you'll see this, use missiles as the pilot. This is massive. The Avenger can survive something ridiculous like 30 missiles. And I'm not even joking. It can survive an absolutely ridiculous amount of missiles. And what that means is, it does not matter who you are in a dogfight with, you can literally just keep fighting them over and over. And the chances of them beating you in a dogfight, with the fact that you have missiles and you fly around 200 miles per hour, it's very slim for them to win that fight. Like, the Avenger is not the most maneuverable vehicle in the game, but it doesn't need to be, because it has an autopilot. And with autopilot, now you can just hover in one spot and keep shooting missiles over and over at whoever is trying to deal with you. Overall, the Avenger is now absolutely insane. As I said, I think that this might be just the best vehicle in the game, not only for defensive capabilities, but for offensive capabilities. Everything about the Avenger is absolutely insane now. It still carries bombs, which is decent. As I said, it's got the machine gun as well, although the machine guns are pretty useless. I would never ever suggest to use those, especially when you now have missiles. But the Avenger is just an absolutely massive dub of a vehicle available in Grand Theft Auto Online. So I would highly suggest to get your hands on one if you haven't already. To showcase how the thruster works and how easy it is to use, you're going to go into services, go to your Avenger, and you're going to engage autopilot. At this point, our Avenger is now no longer going to move, so we can very easily just jump out of it, no worries whatsoever. Let's parachute all the way down to the ground very quickly without trying to kill ourselves. Alright, now that we are at the ground, all you need to do is once again go back to services, just like you would with your Kosatka, and you're going to request the Avenger's thruster. And there you have it. There's your thruster. Now, unfortunately, to what I'm aware, and you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I've taken a look and you cannot upgrade this thruster. It's not like your personal thruster that you can have in your facility. So this is only going to be used to get inside of your Avenger. That's why it's only about $700,000 to purchase. But still, this is really nice. The fact that you can actually request this wherever you are instantly and get right back into your Avenger, it's just a super nice addition. Rockstar didn't need to do this, and I just think it's really cool that they did, because now you don't have to worry about about engaging autopilot and jumping out. You can see now when you fly to the back of your Avenger, you can very easily enter it with the autopilot mode activated, and there you go. Now I'm inside the hold of my Avenger with the thruster. They should honestly do this for some flying vehicles as well. I think that the Oppressor Mark II and as well the Deluxo should have the opportunity to get into the back cargo bay while it's flying, because let's be real, they both could do it in real life based off their flying capabilities. Not that they could fly in real life, but either way, I do think that the Deluxo and Oppressor Mark II should also have the opportunity to get in the back of the Avenger. But I still think it's very cool that you can use the thruster whenever you want, call it in, and fly right over to your Avenger. It's a super big lifesaver, and it's honestly a great thing about it. And here comes the best part of all the changes, and that is where the Avenger can spawn. If we go into our interaction menu, go to services, and request our Avenger, now the Avenger will spawn incredibly close to you, almost like a Sparrow or other flying vehicles. We can see that my Avenger is only about, what, like a 20-second drive away from where we currently are. It is incredibly close. And Rockstar's basically made it that wherever you are on the map, you can call in your Avenger, and it will be almost next to you instantly, which is incredibly nice. As long as you've got a personal vehicle or something to drive, we can just roll around the corner very quickly, and here we are. There's our Avenger spawned right in front of us. Let's go to another random location and see if we can spawn our Avenger again. We are currently as far away from civilization as we possibly can get, at the farthest little dirt road away that I could possibly find in the middle of Grapeseed. So, let's go to Services, Avenger, and request our Avenger. Now, I don't think it's going to spawn directly in front of us, because there's literally no spawn locations directly in front of us, but there you go! Our Avenger spawned 0.5 miles away. And as I said, this is literally the most desolate location you can possibly find. If we were to go to Vehicles, and oh, I'm already using a personal vehicle. I keep forgetting how lame the normal aircrafts are in the game, that you can't even spawn them in if you're in your own personal car. But what I was going to say is, if you're in a non-personal car and you call in an aircraft, you have to drive so far away to get your own personal aircraft out. It is an absolute pain in the butt. The Avenger spawns very easily right in front of you, and just like that, we can just drive our car right into the back of the Avenger if we want. And now we have our car in the back of the Avenger. We can take it off, we can jump our car out wherever we want, whenever we want. I just think that the Avenger is absolutely an amazing vehicle now. It's just so good. Like, the fact that you can spawn in the Avenger so close to you, the fact that it's a super fast flying vehicle, and now that it features missiles and so many different capabilities. Oh, actually, is that a radar jammer? Look at that! I'm gonna get a radar jammer done. And the craziest part about the Avenger is that it can survive an absolutely breathtaking amount of missiles, upwards of like 25 or 30 if I'm not mistaken. The Avenger is an absolute tank. It has missiles, it's got everything you would want going for it, and heck, it's got VTOL mode, so you can land it wherever you want and get back into it and take off. I really like the Avenger, and I would suggest to buy it if you don't have one already, and if you do have one, I would highly recommend to bring it over to your hangar, equip it, upgrade it, and mess around with it, because it is an absolutely amazing vehicle, and I'm personally definitely going to start using it a lot more, especially when it comes to free mode grinding, just because of how effective it is. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.